Hello and welcome. We are here with some auspicious guests today to play in a short little game that will hopefully be full of magic, mayhem, and monstrous entities. With us today is the ever-present Thomas Gofton.
Hello, I'm Tommy. I am a game designer, worked on the world Legacy of Mana, which is the setting that we're currently in. Avid D&D player my whole life, inspired by many people, most of which are sitting here. And I am playing Loholt Lindvander, who is a Zanku, which is a kind of like an alternative human race or species. And I'm also playing my class is a paladin, Oath of the Ages, so like a time paladin, a bard, College of Time, so a time bard, and a sage, which is a class unique to our world, and the subclass of the sage is chronomancer. So I'm just basically involved with messing with time on all facets of D&D, and hopefully you'll enjoy seeing these powers as I travel with my lofty companions. And yeah, that's my introduction.
Next to you is ELISA TEAGUE.
Hello, everybody. I am ELISA TEAGUE. I am a game designer, RPG author, and puzzle designer. Today, I will be playing Adira of Wolfsget. I am a human Iltherian knight infiltrator. We'll see what that means soon.
Oh, yeah.
And then coming around this way, we have Ed of Greenwood.
Hi, I'm Ed Greenwood, creator of the Forgotten Realms. And today I am Elminster of Shadowdale, a wizard.
And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Keith Baker.
Hi, I'm Keith Baker. I'm the creator of Eberron, the card game Gloom, Illimat Phoenix, a lot of things. I am today playing a genius, but I am also playing a human with the mark of making artificer from Eberron.
So we'll start with Elminster, because you're on my right, and you can't go wrong if I'm going right.
That's right.
You are retired, as you have been for quite some time. Well,
Yeah.
like a couple 100 years, give or take.
Yeah, I got new tires.
Yeah. And things have been eventful. It's definitely not been a quiet retirement. But of recent, the organization of which you are the founding member, the Harpers, the ones who harp,
That organization.
yes, they have been dealing with a little bit of an incursion. It would appear that in some Netherese ruins, just sort of off the way from Shadowdale, a gate has opened to where no one is quite certain as of yet, but what they do know is that hordes of bloodthirsty creatures are emerging, things of nightmare, pure, just evil energy cascading out, and lots of things from the Plains of Shadows and
Party time.
all that kinds of stuff. The Harpers have identified the threat as the Night Parade.
Definitely party time.
The age-old enemy, and so you have been going to deal with that. Upon arriving, and of course being an awesome badass and just wiping everything out with the snap of your fingers and dealing with all of the problems almost single-handedly, it comes to your attention that this gate cannot be closed from this side, because of course not. That would be too easy. There seems to be some sort of energy that is powering it coming from the other side, and so it has to be destroyed from the other side. This is old hat for you. I think the last time you did this, you wound up in hell for a couple weeks. It was fine.
It was
I'm sure this will be much better than that. And through the gate you go, sailing and hurling. And we'll come back to you because I don't want to spend too much time.
Did you say sailing and hurling?
Yes.
Oh, hurtling.
Hurtling.
I heard hurling.
He's probably doing
Like,
both.
I was like, oh, weak stomach.
which means two things.
Yes.
When he gets to the other
But,
side.
and it's also a game.
Yes.
That Vikings play.
As for Merrick's, sort of a similar situation. You're not retired though. You're very
No,
very
I'm
busy.
changing the world.
Yes, you are the opposite of retired. You are probably going to work until you're dead.
That's true.
Um,
And after, if these innovations I'm making in consciousness transference work.
Yes. You'll be around for a very long time. Probably a little over 1,200 years if all goes to plan, right?
Yeah, I think so.
There is a very similar type of event occurring, an incursion of some sort that seems to be coming in.
I hate to be following someone else's, I like to be on the cutting edge of problems, but okay.
It appears that the Dalquor, which is thought to have been isolated from the material plane, is no longer. There is a gate that has formed, and beings of dream energy are emerging, and they're being nasty. They're possessing people and making them do horrible things. It's a bit of a problem, and it's really bad for business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So being a genius, you figure, solve the problem, and then the next time you need clients or customers, they're going to come to you because you're the one who solved the problem.
I'm also interested in this dream gate because, okay, if that means dreams are more accessible, I'm just saying, we're here to make your dreams real. And I gotta investigate this for sure.
And advertising in dreams is an untapped market.
There, now, I like the way you think, kid.
So, of course, you've constructed your own gate.
Of course.
What kind of loser would throw himself into the enemy gate and try to figure out what's going
Yeah.
on? You're a man of science.
Right.
So you construct your own gate and you triangulate the position of where the energy is coming through because, of course, the gate can't be closed on this side. Something's channeling it from the other end.
There we are.
So you triangulate their position, originate where that energy is coming from, open your own gate. Bob's your uncle. You step on through.
Yep. Hurling and tumbling all the way down.
Coming back to El, you're not having a good time. Sailing through darkness, shadows, mists cascading all around you, beasts of the night parade, singing their horrible songs and playing instruments that are crafted from their own sinewy bodies. It's rather grotesque.
Oh no, some of them might be vaping.
Most likely.
I'm never gonna give you up.
Oh dear.
It
Yeah.
does seem to be though that the further you go through this vortex, the energy coalescing all around you, you start to feel your ties to Mistra dampen and fade, and it kind of reminds you of the time of troubles.
The Avatar Vortex.
Yes.
Oh, not again. I was young then.
You're still young. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
You're only 1,200.
Can we reset the cycle to spin? Off Vortex?
The assaults continue. You're thrown into the energies. Darkness is surrounding you. You're not quite sure where you are. You feel very weak. The silver fire does not seem to come to you as it normally would instantaneously. And within the blackness, a face begins to appear, this pale visage emanating from the void, hair draped around like seaweed on a clammy, cold, dark eyes, as that of Manchu is glaring back at you. Around his arm, forming an avatar of Mistra as they embrace each other and gaze at you, laughing as you can no longer conjure the powers of which you were so easily capable of wielding. They ride around on horseback, circling you.
Oh, literally. Oh,
Yes.
for a moment there.
Oh, I know where he is.
And Manshoon snaps his fingers as silver fire cascades all around, forming into various shapes. You feel befuddled and confused. Things are not as they should be.
Do I feel veiled?
A little bit. It's sort of like when your body and your mind don't quite feel in harmony, like as if you're in someone.
Monday
Yes,
morning.
like Monday morning. Exactly. That's the perfect.
We're
way
all
to
like,
describe it.
yeah, Monday morning.
Monday morning before the coffee, or any food or anything like that. You kind of got that raspiness and that kind of graininess.
Right. We need
There
libation.
is a bit of a light that does appear in the gloom, however. There's the cackling voice of Manshoon and the energies of the silver fire kind of threatening. You can feel the heat coming to you, and while normally the silver fire would be something wondrous to cascade along yourself, this is more of you feel like this would probably melt your flesh if you were to touch it. As you kind of continue to back away, as it forces you into a tinier and tinier space, a little ring of amber mushrooms just kind of grows out of the ground with a little orange praying mantis beckoning you.
Yeah, okay. I'll step into the ring. Okay. I'll step into the ring.
Ah, yes, this is one of those
Yeah.
fey rings, isn't it? And everything vanishes. Merrick's.
Thanks for coming. No,
It's been fun. Thanks, guys.
You step out of the portal, and it's only
Armor up, by the way. I said armor up, by the way.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, you
fully
basic,
armored,
basic
yeah,
principles
ready,
here,
completely ready
entering-
to just take on an entire army all at once. And the first thing you realize is that the ground is spongy.
I hate that.
Yeah, not great, very spongy, as in your weight gives quite a bit on the ground. The next thing you notice is that there's a weird kind of tingly sensation, and your vision is kaleidoscopic. Lights dancing everywhere, prism-like effects and contours rippling as you take in the strange scenery. The ground is woven with yarn.
It's just a bad design. I mean, I'm just saying, as an architect, whoever made this, do better, deities. Anyhow.
Clouds are cotton balls, strands of thread running along the sky with little arcs of lightning going between them. Trees and shrubs of like weird patchwork cloth and various sort of knitted
Like that.
areas. The whole place is as if you've stepped into like a grandmother's yarn bucket. It's really weird. Sheep bounce high across the yarn, electricity arcing around their wool. And as you stare at them, you feel yourself begin to, your eyes get heavy.
Sheep. My one weakness.
Static electricity continues
1001.
to arc up and down your armor. And you hear a voice come from behind you. Do not watch the sheep, or you will spend eternity slumbering beneath them.
Good advice there, old timer. All right, I'm looking away from the sheep. Ugh.
As you turn around, you
They're
see
so bouncy, though.
An-
It's very appealing.
amber-skinned woman with dark hair and two sheep horns emerging from her forehead. And she's sort of hunched over. Welcome to Woolgather Weald. I am Weave Watcher Wendell, the caretaker of this place.
Brought to us by the letter W. I like this place already.
You should not be here. You are needed elsewhere. Come.
All right, I'm right on your tail there, Wendell. Hold your horns. Let's move along.
She takes
Somewhere
you.
it's exploding.
She takes you to a ring of amber mushrooms and gestures towards it.
Mushrooms,
Yes.
really? All right, I'm gonna take the magic mushrooms here to get where I need to go.
Very good.
Thanks, Horny.
That's Wendell.
Ah, yes, Wendell. Yep. Weave master. We'll gather. Taking the mushrooms. Thanks for your help. Don't watch the sheep.
Kids. Yes. I'm glad that you listen. Such good youngsters these days.
Oh, I've got a whole set of notes on this already. I've been recording the whole thing. I do have to say, I'm seeing a line of plushies. There's a lot of possibilities here. We'll talk licensing when
They're dangerous.
Save the
Stay
world
away
or
from
whatever
them.
it is we're doing here.
A conga line.
The plushies are quite vicious. I would recommend not hugging them.
All right. Good note.
No huggy plushies.
All right, I'll step into the mushrooms.
Okay. And everything vanishes. Adira,
Yes.
you have been fleeing south from New Iltheria in the northern part of the continent of Thalagrant. Unfortunately, one of your more recent jobs went a bit south, and a platoon seemed to have caught on to it.
I was recognized, or
Yes.
or as me, or just as somebody.
As somebody, you don't think they figured out who you are, but they definitely know you're not with them. Some things that you, however, have been dealing with is the, at least, nation that you're familiar with, the part of New Iltheria that you've been interacting with in the underground. People have been having trouble sleeping. There's been a lot of tossing and turning, and yourself included. You have been struggling to stay awake in the mornings. No matter how much coffee you imbibe, it doesn't seem to matter. It just sort of takes the edge off, but you're struggling to keep moving. It has affected mostly everyone. The Iltharians seem to be a little more durable. Many of the less Rennick infused, they are struggling a bit more. Many of them have completely ceased function. They're basically just bedridden. They're so exhausted. But the soldiers are still out and about. And I mean, the jobs must continue. The show must go on. You've been trucking through, but it's starting to catch up to you as you limp your way south with a couple of your fellows trying to get away from a full army on your tail, also limping, and although they have horses, so that makes things a little more awkward. You have seemed to, however, stumbled into what appears to be a storm, and a rather nasty one at that. Rain and winds, thunder booming overhead, lightning striking down upon the ground. It's a perfect place to lose a chasing army, providing that you don't get swept away and lost. And as you make your way through the storm, strange things start to happen. Your second in command grabs onto you for support, and as you turn to look, you see that who used to be a young man of approximately 21 years has aged into that of what looks to be 80.
Okay.
And he kind of tries to call out to you as dust spews from his mouth and he falls to the ground, just mostly bones and skin. You hear a baby crying off in the distance. Doesn't appear to be anything there. The ground ahead of you is riddled with grass, tall and mighty, and patches of rock and some sort of magma coming across your trail. You're beginning to lose sight of where things are. You're not sure if you're just hallucinating from lack of sleep or if something very strange is going on.
In all of my years, have I ever heard of such an occurrence or some sort of phenomena in this area?
It's possible. It is not unheard of for there to be storms of such magnitude known as temporal tempests, where time becomes fluid. They're not good. There is now you've made your armor. Your armor was made by you. All your gear is handcrafted by you yourself. It is reliable and trustworthy. And generally speaking, Rennick doesn't rust. There is rust on parts of your armor, however, and you can kind of scrape it off. You also kind of see that bits of it are sort of molten and kind of melting off from the front. Everything is starting to kind of become loopy, and you're not even sure what's real anymore. You seem to have distanced yourself from your team. You can't find them anywhere. You don't hear them or see them.
Probably for the best, but also I should really get out of this storm.
You continue to search for anything that might help. When off in the mist and the wind and the rain, you see a slight pulsing glow of amber color.
Do I have a feeling
Yes.
of recognition?
Loholtz,
Yeah.
the last several nights, you have been having difficulty sleeping. Visions swim before your eyes in the dark evenings, and you always wake up in a cold sweat, feeling like you've barely slept a wink.
So business as usual for me.
Yes, I don't know how you could possibly relate.
Yeah.
Do your best to
Yes.
act this out.
I'll try.
Not necessarily a voice, but more of like a message or an urging has always sort of driven you at the end of these nights. And while you've also noticed many of your fellows also being quite exhausted and also seemingly having trouble sleeping, of course, your elven companions are having no problem with this, as they don't sleep.
Yeah.
So they're just complaining about how lazy everybody is and
Yeah.
how they're much better than you are because, they don't need sleep. And what's the point of it anyway?
Tough guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something is pulling you to Thalagrant.
The Thalagrant.
Central Thalagrant specifically. In the Cradle of Mana.
Do I know anything about that? Like, what do I know about? What does Loholt know about that?
It is a place filled with chaos magic and twisted and strange weaves. It is not dangerous necessarily, but it is also a no man's land and a cold war.
So, do I know? Is it the same sort of feeling that when I was younger and the Chronomancer Corinth was calling me in my dreams?
Similar. It doesn't have that same feel, but it is a similar feeling. Like a pull.
Of the Eltherian presence there.
Oh yeah, it's very well known, very well documented.
And it's calling me.
Yes. Something tells you that in the next few days you should be there.
In my past, I've learned to follow my gut, no matter what it tells me to do. So I would inform my companions, Rowessa and Browry and Gabriel and all of them, and say that this is where I need to go. And if they wish to follow, they may. But I have to go there.
Brari will take you up on that. And so you can charter a ship, Chrymaris, head off to Thalagrant. You'll be going to the Dragon Crest Trade League, and then...
Okay, so I will. I don't think I've touched base in that place since I was a kid, when I was taken and hidden from the Eltherians, and I was raised in Ionia, so Thalagrant's probably like a neighboring country, or continent. So I will charter a ship, and then I will go to wherever my heart and soul tells me to go.
Okay. When you do get there, you do see that the place is... First of all, your ship is... The crew is barely holding on. Now, ship crews work on varying shifts of 4 hours each, so they don't already get that much sleep. And these guys look like they haven't even gotten those 4 hours. Like they're just exhausted. They're able to work because sailors are some hardy folk, and they're able to get you to Thalagrant, but not before most of them collapse from just sheer exhaustion on the ship. And you disembark. You're also, you feel exhausted. You've been having these nightmares and these visions sending you here every night, but it appears other people are having difficulty sleeping as well. Except in Browry, he's perfectly fine.
Of course.
And as you walk down the gangplank, he kind of gives you a nod that he's going to go look around a little bit, and he'll meet you up later because he's trying to figure out what's going on. So you head on your own.
Yes.
And as you do, you see that you stumble into a storm.
Just
and you it just
in the city?
just
Where I am.
as you begin to head off to where you feel this pull in this direction, and you head in that direction, traveling cross country until eventually just this storm just comes out of nowhere, and you're navigating through it. You hear your father's voice call for you to run, to hide.
So I've never met him, so how do I know that's his voice?
That's exactly the thing.
I just know?
You just instinctually know.
Oh, no.
You feel sort of this strange sensation as if you're small in a large place. You hear clattering of carts and like people talking and screams and explosions. There's flashes of green everywhere. You kind of stop as you feel like your sword arm begins to ache, almost with like an arthritic kind of joint pain. Like there's this pulse, this surge, and you just keep going. You know you're in a temporal tempest. This is very clear to you that this is what's happening. The veil is leaking through into reality, and time is fluttering about. But you know if you just keep going in this direction, you'll find the answers that you seek. Something just tells you.
So I'll hold my sword out, and my cantrip light eyes will flash, and the blade will start to glow and give me some guidance, and I will just push.
You can feel the energy of the blade kind of push away the majority of the harrowing effects of the storm. The blade's power is protecting you somewhat, or at least something with the blade. And as you stumble out into what appears to be it's similar to an eye of the storm, but you know you're not in the middle. This is not the center of the storm, but there's just this pocket where there is no storm. It's swirling all around, but you're in this open area that doesn't appear to be affected by it. And as you start to kind of look around and get your bearings, you can see there are strange pink flowers coming all along this clearing. There are crawling roots ensnaring over top of any rocks or pebbles from these plants. The leaves ranging from 2 feet to 6 feet wide, flat with sharply curved edges. Water collecting in them with little small pools of tiny pink fish swimming about in them. And the stems of these flowers rise and curl with these cup-shaped petals kind of hanging like pendants over your head as they loom all over you.
This train was not the train that is native to the area that I was...
No, this is very specific and different. And as you kind of start to settle in and make your way through, you hear, I don't know, you either hear someone calling out or you stumble into somebody, depending on what your first action would be.
If I see the amber light,
Yeah.
and I just have the same feeling inside me because I just know somehow, I would be calling.
There are very few things that would generate an amber light.
Right. And so somehow I know and start calling through the storm, Loholt, and maybe you're hearing your father's voice that way. I don't know, but I'm calling your name.
He knows I always do the old amber blade thing trick. Did you know I was going to do that?
Why wouldn't you?
It worked out perfectly. But I was like, well, I think I walked right into that one.
I mean, I definitely think something is wrong, so I will draw my sword and try to sense the magic that is happening here. I mean, would I, having been an Eltharian knight, think that there's magic afoot that is now causing a break in the veil that's causing these storms, or is this a different kind
Usually
of
these storms are not naturally occurring, because it always means something's up.
something is up? But I see this light, and whether I believe it to be true or not, I truly believe it is Loholt, so I will be calling through the storm, Loholt!
Do I hear my father's voice, or do it
This
now?
time it is a distinct voice. But we'll cut back to you as Stinkbeard.
Oh, that would be me.
Yes, you would. That's my favorite nickname.
Stinkbeard.
Yes.
Well, he knows where it's been.
You are no longer surrounded by blackness. Instead, you appear to be in a storm, which is probably not what you were expecting, having immediately stepped into a ring of mushrooms. But hey, here you are. Expect the unexpected, it would seem. You do start to kind of make your way through. You can see that the storm appears to break just up ahead, so you start to make your way towards that. You see sort of weird visions of people that you've known in life. You hear you see your own parents destroyed by spells ricocheting around the area. You immediately feel your body change, and you're a woman for a split second before you're a man again. Things are very strange, but not that strange for the life that you've led. You're basically just reliving past events at this point, until eventually you stumble out into a very picturesque clearing with very pink flowers and
It's a
dew
trap.
stems. And
Burn it down.
some other folk over there.
Oh, other folk?
Yes.
What do they look like?
Would you like to describe yourself?
I will. You see a mature, older, but not as old as you, woman.
And I will interject, you have a new streak of white hair that you definitely did not have before you went in that storm.
I have a new streak of white hair. There's a little bit of like light something in here, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
orange.
That you see, but I probably don't see it because I'm
No,
not
you wouldn't
looking in
have-
a mirror
exactly.
right now, but you see somebody who has seen,
An attractive younger woman.
I won't say better days, because she has not seen good days in a long, long time, but red hair, green cloak. You don't know probably what any of that might mean, but fully armored, holding a blade, pushing through a storm into
this clearing.
into
yeah.
this clearing, screaming a name.
Is your blade glowing at all? Do you have any charges?
You definitely have charges.
So it
You-
glows with if it has charges, but I don't emit the charges just because it's glowing.
You as a infiltrator have the option to suppress the glow if you want to.
I would be suppressing.
You could also have your whole body glow, because your armor, your shield, and your sword
Oh,
are all made
really?
of Rennick, so you yourself could just glow completely.
I like that, but right now I am hiding,
Yes.
and so I would not. Nothing would be glowing
I'm-
except for my smile. No.
Well, I think it's some distance away, also looking toward the green-clad woman. You see a fellow in plate armor, partially broken up for style and function, silver and gold trim, large white cloak, ruffled hair being blown aside in whatever wind remains. His eyes are milky white, not as if the irises are drained of color. Something similar to what an undead would look like to you, but not undead. There's still color, there's still life in the eyes, but they're whited out entirely, but not glowing. And he is holding a bastard sword that the blade is made of amber, which normally the structure of a stone like this would not, or a culture like this would not sustain combat. But he's holding, and it is glowing about a 30-foot diameter around him as he's pushing through whatever storm is happening, and he is just looking as he's trying to carve out with the sword, heading toward this other figure who I've not recognized yet, or I cannot see yet.
I don't know if you'd necessarily recognize
You
her,
don't know.
but you
Yeah,
would
I
definitely
think
you would
so.
definitely
Would
be
I
able
see
to-
the green blade?
You could probably at least
But she's not
recognize some like Iltharian-esque,
Yeah.
but you've been around enough to understand that.
And do I notice the third figure emerge?
You do, but also, Merrick's,
Yes.
you stride confidently into a harrowing storm that buffets your armor. But of
That's
course,
why I have armor.
it's been designed to withstand the worst flay sands.
Oh,
that
I've
could
been
be
to
imagined,
reality
so-
storms in
Sands of
Sarlana, you know,
Benecto?
yeah.
Yeah,
Old hat.
It's polishing your armor is what it's doing.
Planar energies, yes.
You do obviously see that. There's just that way, and you're good to go. Along the way there, you do, however, stand face to face with your father as he tells you that
How's he dressed?
he is dressed.
Like work clothes? I mean,
He is dressed in his finest suit.
okay.
He is on his way to a not very pleasant meeting where not very good things are going to be happening to him. And he's taller than you remember. Well, it's hard because it's been a while since you've seen him, but he's
I'm realizing I'm probably, this is a matter of perspective is
Yeah,
what we're
it's
saying.
a-
We're
it's a-
getting an
there's a
age
weird
thing. This is the last
perspective
time I
thing
saw
happening.
him. I was younger. I understand what's going on here at science.
And he kind of puts his arm on you and he says that you must be strong and that you must remember you are my greatest creation. As he walks off, you hear shouts, a gavel slamming, and he's gone.
He's getting some dice out now.
I'm just doing like a minor, wisdom save, just myself to sort of see. And obviously, as I said, I understand. These are projections. We're going through other dimensions. But I still got to say, it kind of... I'm wearing the armor, but that kind of gets through. So,
And you do step out into a clearing with pink flowers, dew, little fish, long grass. And the storm, again, it's not the eye of the storm, but it is similar to what you would expect an eye of a storm to be. And there are other folk milling about, it would seem.
So, Merrick's, for people who will recognize the reference, essentially looks like a Warforged right now, which is to say he's armored, but, it sort of is just metal humanoid with sort of slightly organic wooden leathery joints between it, faceplate, glowing eyes. The metal is sort of dark matte, so even though he's in what amounts to plate, it's surprisingly stealthy. But then he also has gems all along the side of the helmet, like a array of dragon shards, and he has shards in the palms too that glow slightly. And so, as I said, stepping right in, your first impression is going to be, this is some kind of metal dude, and we'll see where that goes from there. And I will say that he comes out and looks really cool, and yet, though it's impossible to see emotion on his face, he looks a little sort of shaken a little.
The helmet just...
Yeah, just, he's not coming out in a big, he's coming out in a, sort of a position. And yeah, notice all you folk, and okay, right, we're here. That was interesting. I got to process that. But people.
And what do we see?
Hi.
Oh yeah.
Mister, it's just you?
Just as you see.
We see that.
He's...
Does he have a microphone on?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you never know.
Great
Yeah,
for
that's
business. Take
Yeah.
that back to everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you have a sword?
Yes, I do. And it's floating in front of me.
Got it. Nobody told
It's
me swords
floating
were
in
part
front
of
of
this.
you?
It's floating in front of me.
My
Just
sword
Give me a
would
few hours. I'll make a
immediately
sword.
Yeah, my sword would immediately move to you, and I would be looking at this sword.
Oh, is it mating season?
So are we all within able to
I
talk
am
to
the
each other?
sword.
Oh,
You're
yes,
all
you are the
gathered
sword,
together,
yeah.
Alright, so we're all
surrounded by
gathered together, okay.
tall pink flowers.
Well met. I am Elminster. I'm harmless.
That's what they always say.
Yes, so I said it. I'm still harmless. Mostly
What's
harmless.
the stance on the two of you? Are you in combat stance? Or are you looking?
When I recognize Notherian, yes, I will. I will be on the prowl.
I will turn from you, just showing that I want to talk to you. But I see this, and I will turn my sword to you, because anybody who says on the first meet, I'm harmless, while a sword is floating in front of them.
You're clearly a wizard.
You may have my sword, my lady. I don't use it for anything.
It is not your sword that I am afraid of.
Oh,
In fact, I'm not afraid, that's the wrong word, but your ability to have this floating in front of you.
oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Do you see a shovel?
Can I make that not float?
If you touch it with your sword, it will drop.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Boom. It drops. Do you see a shovel?
I do not.
Then I would have to ladle the dung very slowly then. By
Don't
hand.
assume that all manipulation is evil, Ethereum. This one here can disrupt any use of magic. I would be cautious not to cast anything.
I cast nothing. I am but a sage. I am retired. Ever since I got my new tires, I don't...
You are a sage.
Yes.
You can manipulate the veil.
With practice.
I see.
All right. Interesting. I'm going to switch out of my armor. So the armor essentially just sort of retracts, melts away, and becomes something closer to what I'm wearing now. So now I'm guy probably, late 30s-ish, well put together, and I'm immediately doing some detect magic-y, like I'm checking some energy here. This is very interesting. I want to talk about that veil thing, but first let me just do some quick analysis of the energies in this place.
Yeah, there are a lot of energies. That's a good term.
I'm getting 2 mana sources, like 2.
Yeah, so off of Lowholt,
This is interesting.
you're definitely
This is
getting
interesting.
what you would recognize as magic. Although your sensors, it's different. There's a weird tang to it. It's like the difference between lemonade and orange juice. Or
Sunny D.
Yeah, there you go. Sunny D and orange juice. It's like he's Sunny D.
Or Tang.
Yeah, that is.
And
Tang.
like
Tang.
you have like what you would consider more of an orangey style of magic. So it's
about this
slightly
fellow here?
different.
Stinky
He's
beard.
glowing. Just absolutely glowing. It's like if you had a
Nice,
heat map,
nice.
it's
I like
completely red.
like what you're doing
And
there.
I would say
2.0.
probably not citrus. Maybe more like, or maybe a lime. Maybe like limey.
I was thinking amaretto myself.
Amaretto works too. Actually, yeah, that's pretty fitting.
Arcana check 30, by the way, for, just casual picking things
Yeah,
up. So
just a casual 30.
understand, you're saying negates magic, veil. Tell me about this veil.
Oh yeah, I will say for her, it's like a void.
A banana.
Interesting. I get it. Is it all the sword or is it you?
Yes.
Huh.
Oh.
I mean, he's saying that, I'm
You've
just saying.
never encountered an Eltharian knight before.
No, that's a knight like a warrior, not just like
Why
a
don't
knight
we-
in Eltheria.
Please tell me about them. And you can see that I've been very serious this entire time, but I smile, and it's a smile of like beaming with pride right now.
So everybody is older. So I'm the younger one. I'm like
You are the youngest
my
person here.
mid-20s,
Actually, well,
so
no, you're how old?
30s.
I'd say probably mid late 30s.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm like early 20s.
Yeah.
Like, this
Around.
is like right after the Empire kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So it's like I'm just like
Great. Exposition boy.
why
Hit
don't we just begin with familiarity? See, we are on the continent of Thalagrant, and you are clearly from Phelan's Republic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thalen's Republic. Love it. Great place.
And I don't believe someone of your aptitude in mana manipulation is even allowed to exist in this world.
I guess that's why I somehow found my way through the veil.
You know about them.
Right.
Where are
Through
you
the
from?
veil. That's what we did.
Where particularly are you from?
I am from a land known as, to many of its inhabitants, as Toril. I'm from the continent of Faerun. I'm from the small farming village of Shadowdale. I am a humble sage, and I serve the goddess of magic.
Goddess.
Yes, goddess.
What is-
She's hot, and I'm here.
So we don't know anything about gods.
I'm here to deal with a power source here that is opening a gate into my world and sending monsters through.
you would be familiar with
Interesting.
the word.
It's the 4th of July in my brain right now. This is fireworks going off. I have no idea where would my character, having traveled a lot of Imaria and having been known enough of it, hear of any of those continents or worlds for that matter?
Two things.
Without metagaming.
The word goddess is not necessarily foreign. It's usually associated with a cult or some
Okay.
charlatan.
like myths that have been said,
Someone's like, I get power from a great being in the sky, and then he's actually like a hedge wizard or something, right? He's a con man. The other, which you're probably going to start assuming he's a con man.
That's it.
The second thing would be that, in theory, I believe both of you would be familiar enough with each of the continents at the very least. You don't know everywhere, but the continents you would understand.
But he coming from a world named Toro.
That means nothing to you. That is completely
It means nothing.
That is
We
gobbledygook.
know
a
we're in
continent.
Amaria.
Like none of
Yes.
that. Okay.
And I have a feeling that there's a misunderstanding here. I think we should all have some tea, sit down, relax, unburden ourselves. But I just want to assure you all.
It's great stuff, Shadowdale. Tell me about the gate you saw there. Did it have? Was it fuzzy around the edges? Were there tendrils coming out? What was the color?
It was free flowing around the edges, constantly changing its size and shape, but
Nightmare
reverting
monsters
to
coming out.
Nightmare
taking things
monsters
over?
coming
Possession?
out. Well, no, it was more like the monsters were as confused as we would be into a new world.
Okay.
And
so it wasn't planned. You're saying they didn't.
They
set this
weren't
up.
part of the planning.
Interesting.
Doesn't mean
Interesting.
that it wasn't planned. They weren't
Yeah,
part of
fair
the planning.
enough. All right.
And the gate could not be closed from my side. There's a power source
That's
this side.
Standard.
I speak
procedure.
utter truth as it seems to me. I am not deceiving you.
All right. I'm
I
on
may
this
be
gate problem
deluded,
too.
but yeah.
The truth that I see is something is afoot, and you have come from
Somewhere else.
somewhere. So you are the cause of this.
Where
got a
do
point
you
there.
come from? Which area of
what was
Phelan's
that place
Republic?
you said? Wait, Phelan's Republic. Dragon Towers. Very nice. A whole nother place.
You're
It
definitely
doesn't
not
matter.
familiar enough with Phelan's
Let's
Republic.
No, I wouldn't know that.
let's also put it this way. Does it matter? You've never been there. You're not going there. I'm from far away, out of town. So the big issue is we all got a big problem. It
Yes,
sounds like
yes.
gate, nightmare creatures. You guys, how'd you get here? Like, did you just wander through a storm, or were you following some
I
trouble?
believe the storm found me. I've been called here.
You've been called here. That's great. You're Silver Flame. Great.
Flame.
Sure.
No, Silver Sword.
Silver Sword. Understand that kind of thing. You're called here. You probably have divine powers to fight for good.
Divine.
I don't know. Tell me more about your veil.
The veil is a protective barrier of our world.
Protective area world. Good, good. What's it protecting from?
You.
The man of stars.
Oh, me. Oh, okay.
I wouldn't be so presumptuous to be throwing your threat around, Eltherian.
Ooh.
And I'll just smile again.
Ooh.
My child.
Ooh.
Can't take
All
it
right.
seriously.
All right.
I'm so proud of you.
Nazi.
I think we need to give them a room.
Proud of me.
I'm not sure it's that kind of room.
It's
Oh,
not that
romper,
kind of
a
room.
romper room. Okay, but you were called here. Did you just wander here, or is something? You got a problem?
A storm has been plaguing me for a long time, but this storm had found me, and I narrowly escaped. I cannot say the same for my companions. And something called me through, and I saw the blade of somebody from my past.
So I will say at this point, the two of you having the adrenaline is you still have adrenaline, but it is quickly dampening. You're not like you no longer feel like your life is in immediate peril or your existence.
Well, we're in a pink flowery
Yeah.
meadow, right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. So as the adrenaline begins to fade, you start to realize just once again how tired you are. I'd like you both to assign 4 levels of exhaustion each.
What the heck?
4.
Yes.
4? Oh man,
That's pretty intense.
that's not the zero movement one, is it?
No, that's 5. That's the reason why I'm not giving you 5. Otherwise, I would give you 5.
I am
Well,
exhausted.
I have a particular. You appear to be wishing to solve some sort of mystery or problem, and we are far more trusting in each other than I am of you. And I do not trust an Eltherian in our ranks.
Loholt.
Who knows my name? I have a standard procedure since the Diamond Skull have been known for their defectiveness. If you don't mind, I wish to use a bit of my power to discern the truth.
Love
I
it.
feel like it will bypass much time
The truth about me?
about everyone here. I know none of you, yet you know my name, an Etherean in a temporal storm. And he just drops his blade to the ground.
Temporal storm, you say?
So you see him drop the ember blade to the ground, and when it hits the ground,
Take a note of that.
Yeah, temporal.
Sage.
Is there anybody around us?
Make a perception check with disadvantage because you're exhausted.
when the blade hits the ground, the dirt just kind of caves in a little bit, and then you see some amber light appear, and then he starts to slowly walk around everybody as he carves into the ground, leaving a little trace of this amber glow.
Interesting. All right.
And then when he gets back to where he was standing and the tip of the blade connects, you see this pulse of light come up and these little particles of amber fade down, and I cast Zone of Truth.
16 is my lower.
Okay,
number.
that's pretty
Adorable.
good.
Sadly,
I love it.
26 was
Yeah,
higher.
very cute.
Yeah.
So you notice a couple of things. You notice some giant coal black frogs hopping from leaf to leaf, kind of eating these little pink fish swim around.
But they are
in the-
frogs.
They are frogs.
Oh, no, I'm saying for my own verification, they're not like, they're just frogs. They're not, because
Yes.
there are other creatures that are sentient here.
Like
They're just
sloths?
frogs.
Well, I'm
Okay.
describing what you've
Sure.
perceived. You've
Yes.
perceived some frogs.
Mm-hmm.
You also see that through, because the flowers are quite tall, because they kind of tower over you with the petals. But off further into what appears to be the clearing, you see what looks to be a diaphanous green stone, kind of somewhat crumbling and cracked. It's hard to make out, ruins of some kind that you can see over yonder.
But no other people.
You do not see any other people other than the three that you have come upon.
And I see the frogs.
And there are frogs and fish.
I will just quickly interject. Will Holt, you will see the truth and you will know me, but when you know me, do not speak of it out loud.
Well, sir, the Zone of Truth goes off. You can resist it if you wish. It's a saving throw.
Nope.
But got it. Basic enchantment. What's your? You said not divine. Like, what's the derivation of this?
Where does your power come
enchantment?
from?
Yeah. Where you? If you're not.
I believe that it is possible to do this, and it does it.
Of course. All right. Yeah. Basic faith.
Self-conviction, I believe.
I knew a guy who believed in his boot actually, and he could actually levitate. It was pretty cool. What do you got?
While we speak within this circle,
Right.
no lies.
I could have. Right.
Yes.
Understood. What's the
Understood.
question? Here we are.
Well, now we may continue conversation.
Oh, you thought we were lying before.
Forgive me. There are many times in my resistance I've dealt with
Resistance. Against
the Eltherian Empire.
the Eltherian Empire. Got it. Oh, this is awkward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It actually isn't surprising you would know my name, since it was partly my cohorts and I that killed your emperor. How does that feel?
It feels great. I know your name because I'm the reason you're alive.
That's the Zone of Truth thing.
Oh, we lean in.
I'm taking some notes here.
Yeah.
Hang
This-
on.
this will be
I've
good.
got a spell shard out. I gotta make a note of that.
I believe I'm going to need a little explanation of that.
You didn't need to make me tell the truth for me to open up to you, Holt. You are my greatest achievement. I've been fighting a long time against the same people and hiding. I am
Greatest
Adira.
achievement?
You may not know my name.
It's your mother?
That's the first thing I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not your mother, but I knew your mother.
Did you construct him, grow him, maybe?
You see the whole, like-
some kind of vat?
He's very
that's
much
good.
holding it.
Yeah.
He's very much holding it, trying to be as stoic as he can be, but he's definitely sinking down in these pink feathers a little bit, or these pink flowers a little bit. We have a mission to accomplish.
Oh no, don't stop on our account, please. Carry on. We got a little time.
No, we have to get to the bottom.
Oh yeah, this is great.
We're in the middle of a temporal storm. I don't believe we have to get to the bottom of anything.
Do you want some? I've got some popcorn.
Thank you.
He just reaches into a bag and.
This is not funny.
Oh, no, funny? No, this
very, very tired.
Okay. I've got
Then
some
popcorn.
coffee here, actually. I have. He does have a flask of
Some sort
bottomless
magical
coffee.
I don't think I can even drink it. I don't know how this works, but
I do,
would
in
love
fact.
some-
I don't think the coffee is magical. I think it's
No.
the conjuration part.
And
It is the conjuration.
We're
It is
in the zone
mundane
of
coffee.
truth.
But I
You
do
can
have a
trust
thing of
us.
coffee.
We're not poisoning you. We're not, trust. If you believe, do you not believe that what we say is true? We came here. We don't know really what here is, other than it's a world with the two of you in it, and we're trying to close gates that come from this world into our world, or from somewhere to somewhere, but the power source is here, and we need to deal with the power source to close the gates.
You keep speaking of worlds.
Yes, worlds. I contain worlds. Don't you?
While he's saying all that, Merrick's is just pulling out a couple of mugs, and he has this little flask that which none of which should fit in this bag. He's pulling stuff out of course, and he is just out of this little flask, like pouring,
Dealing
filling
with
them all up,
practical,
and
yes.
just handing out. He's like, yeah, here, have a drink.
It's science.
Keep going.
Quart out of pint pot. So tell me,
Shadowdale.
You were called here. You were exhausted now. You seem to be of some urgency, but you don't know what to do, or is it just to get rid of the storm, or what?
I do not know what is happening. I came upon the storm while running for my life.
But you said your friends didn't make it. Like life being sucked out, exhaustion. Like what kind of trouble were you facing?
I saw things while going through the storm
Thunder.
and I'll stop and look behind me, that I cannot fully explain, but I know is not normal. But things here, what you say is true, are probably different from where you come from.
Question.
Yes.
Having done a basic detect magic 30 Arcana check, earlier, trying to get our situation, do I think that this place that we are in is a material plane? Like,
Yes.
so we are on another world. This isn't some kind of magical space
You
between
believe
or
you're
something like
in
that.
the material plane.
Okay.
I know it because originally when you did detect
Sure.
magic, you were focusing it more so on your
More
individuals.
just what was going on. But yeah,
the
I
way
can
it-
do another check.
Well, I understand detect magic lasts for a while.
Sure.
It's more of a thing. So now that that's kind of out of the way, you are seeing that while the storm is magical, it's not emanating any of the schools that you would be aware of. It's some other thing. It's some other separate energy source that's powering that. You are also getting, obviously, the circle is magical, but there is something on the two of them.
Okay.
So while she is a void, there is like a weird kind of
Like a curse or an outside force clinging to them?
something like that. It's not like part of them. It's more of like an aura, the sort of, and you can see it's fighting with this void kind of her body, and on him, as it's kind of encroaching, you see the sword has like this sort of that only you can see this pulse, and it kind of repels, but then continues to try and ensnare.
And the answer very much could be I just have no idea, but
The land
As
you're
a-
in is also magical.
do I, basically just judging from the, I've seen things like curses before and such, do I think this is something that might respond to lesser restoration, or do I think, no, it's a whole different category?
Do you have identify?
I do have identify.
That'll make things much quicker.
If we have, okay, so what I'm going to say is, hold on a minute. What was your name again?
I don't think she gave
Red?
it to you.
No, okay.
I said
Void.
it.
I'll just call you Void. There's something going on here, and I am in your truth zone. So hang on. Give me a minute to study you. You look very tired. I might be able to figure something out about that. Basically, I'd just like to cast it as a ritual, so
Yes,
as not to burn a
understood.
spell shot. So I'm just doing, a sort of identify, slow walking around you. Okay, hang on. There's definitely you two. You've got this no magic thing, but it's clinging to you. It's trying to get through. Hang on a second. I'll do
while
identify.
he's doing that, I'm simply. I have only heard tales of my mother. How do you claim to know her? What is your connection to her?
Do you know? Because I wouldn't know if you do. Do you know who got you out?
Caliban.
He was my friend, and I helped arrange that. I was the one who got word that there was going to be a threat to you.
So you see him actually break his composure a little bit here when he finds someone who knows Caliban was basically his father, his adopted father. You actually see him mist a little bit, and he's just like, and he tries to hold it together because he's seen some shit the last couple of years, and he's not exactly ready to be emotional yet. So he's.
I have not seen him since.
You keep notes on this. I'm working on a spell, but I need to know all about this when we get back. I mean, I'm here for the Tal Opera.
Yeah, I'm
Carry on.
I'm watching the frogs.
Yeah.
Listening to the barking dogs in the mist.
I'm just saying, I want crystal rights to this. This is a story.
We'll deal with this later. For now, I wish to know where this Faerun is.
That away. A long way that away.
Can I use my
telling the
ragged
truth.
ability to erase levels of exhaustion, or is that just for hit points and things like that?
You can use it to gain levels of exhaustion.
No.
Excellent. Try that.
You can get Iki in the back corner,
I
right?
will
Just
sing-
push through the other side.
No. Is that how it works?
Yeah. I think so.
Come right back out on top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
So, Merrick's,
Yeah. Identify.
identify. They're both afflicted with a mind seed.
Oh, this is bad.
I've
seen this before.
Stage 4, obviously,
Oh.
out of 6.
Oh.
So do I see? Do you physically?
I would definitely go. Oh yeah. No, I mean I would be looking through and
it's
say,
like when your doctor's looking at your charts. Oh, ooh.
all right. I don't know quite how to tell you this. You might want to sit down, have a drink. There's an alien presence that is trying to overwrite your mind, like replace your memories with its memories. You're feeling tired? Feeling very tired?
Yes.
Don't go to sleep. Just saying. Yeah, this is bad. Now, my gut reaction, and this is where I can make a check, or you can tell me if it's something I would already know, is that this would be something that would be a little beyond Lesser Restoration.
Beyond Lesser Restoration.
Right.
You're looking for Remove Curse.
Right. All right. So, trying to think how to put this in a simple way that someone's not a scientist might get. Imagine that there's 6 stages of something, erasing your mind.
A sickness, perhaps.
A sickness, you could call it, because there's 6 stages of it. I would put you around stage 4. Now, this world of yours, you have what I would call a healing house, a hospital, a halflings. You know any little halflings with something like this? Because you need some kind of healing magic pronto, and I'm afraid it's a little beyond what I got here.
I can remove this from one of you. I can remove it from the other one, but we're going to have to rest in this spot.
Yeah.
You will heal him.
So,
You want me to heal him? Do you trust me to cast a spell?
I'm not going to actually suck it up, but it would be funny.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That would be the worst.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I'm also going to be jumping in here. quickly just to him and just saying, good, someone who actually speaks common, and
Yeah, we're
just
waiving that part
listing
of the story.
and just going through like a bunch of just arcane. Okay, so see, what we're talking about is a periodic curse that interacts with the cerebrum, and like there'd be like a whole little. Let me just give you
Science.
And you're like, right,
Timey-wimey.
I can remove it. So carry on.
I can heal one of you by casting a spell. You will have to trust me. Here I am in the zone of truth, and not interrupt me casting the spell, or it will fail.
Can't
I
you?
can remove the mind seed from one of you, and then if I have enough time to rest and get a new spell, a new remove curse, I can remove the curse from the other one of you.
I know what you've done here. I allowed you to force me to speak the truth, even though I would have told it. I am allowing this magic to happen, and I am allowing you to be healed first. Do you trust that I have your very best interest in mind? And I'll look down at my cloak, but
You should.
it's shabby.
Trust issues. This will take time. I will drink.
Well, I mean, didn't you hear like
Mm-hmm.
empires?
Mm-hmm.
It's good
All
stuff.
right, wizard. I trust you.
We're basically talking Karnath and Thrain here. It's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, you probably don't know that.
No,
sorry.
I don't know that.
Shadow Dale.
There is nothing up my sleeves except my arms, and they're hairy. Okay? I mean you no harm.
It's really hard to remain stoic with this guy. Okay.
So, I'm going to touch you. Forehead will do. Maybe chin, but don't bite. And now, I'm going to do this. And now I'm going to do that. And we are done.
You no longer have exhaustion.
Oh,
Doesn't trust feel wonderful?
thank you. You're
Elminster.
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 What is your name, sir?
Lowholt.
Lowholt. I heard her crying it before, but I did not know if that was a term of endearment or whether she was calling you knight or something. So Lowholt is your name. Okay. I am Elminster of Shadowdale.
I thought it was just a thing people said right
Yeah.
here. I was
Lowholt.
like, yeah, Lowholt.
Lowholt. Yes.
And you?
Huh?
Your name?
Oh, Lord Merrick's is my grandfather. So yeah, just Merrick's. Here, my card.
Oh, yes. Yes. I should do the same. How remiss of me.
Lord Merrick's Kenneth, Seneschal of Sharn, Baron of House House
Elminster of
Kenneth.
Shadowdale.
Is Kenneth a place in Phelan's Republic?
Sure. I mean, might as well be.
You keep saying in this world. I don't think you're from here.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm not. I mean, again, I just didn't see a reason to burden you with that, but sure.
At this point, it's clear that Merrick's has very much stepped outside the circle as he was examining you earlier and just never bothered to step back in the circle.
Oh, right, circle. Okay, yeah. Back in the circle. Right, yeah, sure. I'm from Eberron. Mean anything to you? No, right? Might as well be Phelan's Republic. That's what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Sharn, actually, Dragon Towers, great place.
Classy neighborhood in
Just saying.
You have been to this
of
place.
course it is.
City of Towers, yeah.
Yeah.
Lightning rail. Nothing?
Hey, okay.
We're both like,
He knows what he's talking about.
I'm looking at
Don't worry
this
about it.
card that has your name printed on it, and you can see that my face just drops with the feeling of
oh my God, it's an actual business.
I haven't really uttered my real name until, today, just softly to him in forever. I've just been hiding under different, to see something printed with somebody's name and the ownership of a name
what do you mean?
has just defeated me, and it could be the exhaustion that is settling in, but you see just tears welling up as I look at a card that somebody can so proudly declare their name.
Don't go to sleep or anything. Hang in there. Here,
I'm going
have
to
another
rest.
have another cup of coffee.
I'm going to rest here in these nice pink flowers. I don't eat frogs. I mean, not raw.
So if you are a defector of
Tastes
the
like
Etherean rank,
Seaweedy chicken. Ooh. I'm resting.
Can we just like evaluate these frogs for a sec? I'm paranoid, and it could be the storm, it could be the exhaustion, it could be I
That's
don't
good
know
thinking.
really what's
yeah.
going on.
Frogs, let's check them out.
And the
I will
stone.
still look over my shoulder
And the stone?
constantly.
Is there a
Just
sword
at the storm
sticking out of the
behind
stone?
us? I'm more afraid of anybody like seeing now us than the storm, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm-
that's wise because you start to hear
Yeah.
horse hooves coming from the storm.
All right.
We have to get someplace safe.
Yeah, I'm definitely also in the mode of I want to make sure, even though we don't know each other, we're still figuring all this out, but I'm still like, essentially, you're a little bit of a patient, so I'm like, I want to make sure you don't go to sleep. You know, you've got, frankly, also, if this thing takes you over, then something else is taking you over and you could be back. So I'm definitely sticking with you. Let's investigate, and now something's investigating. And if we do hear the horse's hooves, and I do have a passive perception of 17, so...
I think that's enough. I mean, they're horses. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If they aren't ninja horses, I am going to tap my mark. So this mark on the back of his hand sort of glows blue. And when I do, the suit sort of all shifts and metal flows over it, and I go back to that armored mode I was in before.
Fascinating.
This stone, are there, you said ruins?
There are ruins. Yes.
How extensive are the ruins? Could we hide in them?
So, getting a closer look at the ruins, they appear to be crumbling pyramids of diaphanous green stone with intricate runes inscribed upon them. So you could potentially hide behind them. It's like hiding behind a large pyramid of glass that's shaded green.
So it's not really hiding material.
Did you bring your green outfit?
I'm only wearing what I'm wearing. I'm but a humble old retired man.
This is it? You've only got one look here? I mean, come on. You're plane hopping and you didn't bring a couple changes of clothes.
No.
You got I thought you were experienced at this.
Yes, I usually take my clothes off and then
Okay.
nobody looks. It's the
All
perfect
right.
disguise.
But we've got trouble coming.
Most likely.
We'll
Well,
definitely.
Maybe. She seems nervous about the horse hooves.
Do we all hear the horse hooves?
At this point, yes.
So
How many? Like a lot?
It is hard to say over this, because the storm is noisy, so it is hard to say, but more than one.
You have wild herds of horses or tribecs
We
roaming
must-
around here?
We must
Blue
get
boy?
to safety. You must. Even more than me, if it is... I don't know who it is, but if it is who it could be, you'd be in terrible danger.
Us?
You.
We full of magic?
You full of magic.
Oh.
All right. Well, just taking the word of the local here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cast invisibility.
All right. So you just vanish from sight?
Yep.
I don't possess those tricks. Alert, feet.
Oh yeah, there's trouble coming.
Indeed, what she speaks is truth. I sense danger coming.
Right, well, we'd better...
Thanks for the tip.
We'd better all go and hide behind a pyramid for now.
I mean, I'll go hide behind the pyramid, but you know
They're
that's
invisible, so I mean that does improve the ability to hide behind.
If you're not
a
wearing green,
diaphanous
you know.
It ain't easy.
So looking around, there's no direction we can go where these hooves aren't coming, or...
I mean, you're in a circular type clearing, so you
Leoman's tiny hut.
Oh, that's adorable.
So you could circle back. You could like move away from the sound of the horses. You could try to hide in the tall flowers if you wanted to. You could.
Do you want to be invisible? I can make you invisible.
You could apply to the going behind something.
I'll just use a 3rd level slot, by the way, and make him invisible too.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure he has the ability to do that too, but
You know,
I would have
conservation
to
of
rest.
energy. Yeah, we got to rest.
And I was resting.
that's true. You were just in a battle right before this too.
Yes.
so-
Yeah. So I'm just saying, you know, why not be efficient about these things?
What is coming? Is it veil-oriented? Or is it Ethereans?
I don't know. I was running from the...
Despite being
Eltharians,
invisible,
and
I'm
then the
still going to
storm
hide behind a pyramid.
That's probably still a good idea.
Yeah, just in case.
So I've got no other place to hide.
happened.
I would
What's
say I'd
up?
follow him, but you're invisible.
I mean-
I don't know where you're going.
What's up?
The sky.
And that's where I'll go. Can you find a place to hide?
I've been hiding a long time. I would probably head for the ruins. And also I'm curious about them.
Hey,
So
you're wearing green.
I am wearing green.
You can go ahead and make a stealth check, which you're pretty good at.
That's
I am not.
good. Am I still making it at what?
Well, yeah, it seems to me you're still exhausted. However, because you're hiding behind something, I will give you advantage to counteract the disadvantage. Because
What a sweetheart.
I am
thank
merciful.
you.
Remember that. He said he was
These are
merciful.
hard to read.
I made a note.
19.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
We'll be calling him on it later when we need it.
So you'll see me put my, and when I put my hood up, you'll see that it is it's an old green cloak. It is not something that was just recently given to me or anything.
Built to last year. I like it.
And I will go and hide, make a run for the ruins, the runic ruins.
Yes.
I pull out a small figurine of a Pegasus, and I whisper, "I need you, old friend." And then you see it start to crack and glow, and then it shatters, and then reconnects, and then when it shatters, the particles fall to the ground, and then it explodes into this Pegasus of light that I then kind of auto-mount, basically, put the figurine away, and we buck up and flash straight up.
Nice.
Kid's got style.
Yeah,
Session
I want to
one.
be one of those.
That's burned already. Excellent.
Come back. So I get an hour.
In a week?
I've got an hour of time on it. I'm only going to go for as long as I need to. Up it goes.
How high up are you going?
Up and
So here's the problem. You go up a certain amount, and then the storm starts to kind of come back around.
I'll go into the precipice of it if I can.
Okay, just
And
slightly.
then just kind of deal with the wind and turbulence in there and hold
As
on.
you fly up, you get a nice aerial view of the area. You appear to be in a large open space with these flowers and the frogs and the fish. And there are several of these crumbling green pyramids. You can, if you want at this point, you can give me a history check as to where you might be. You have enough knowledge of the surrounding area that you might be able to pinpoint this.
13 plus it's a 23.
I think that's enough. You are in the Hollows. It is one of the most ancient relics in Amaria. Crumbling hollow pyramids of leaning translucent green stone, every surface inscribed with a language that even the most ancient and wisest of sages have been unable to decipher. It is from before the Veil, and so even chronomancers cannot ascertain its origins or purpose.
We're in a place that's before the veil.
Yes, you are.
Oh, wow. Okay,
It's
so
very old.
he'll make a note of that to bring it down to the rest when time comes, and then I'll try to hide up into the atmosphere a little bit and try and maintain visual on where they are.
There are rumors about this place, about what its original purpose was, ranging from healing structures to spirit summoning to lunar altars, but nothing is certain. These are all conjecture by various people trying to sell books.
Okay.
Shame my old pal Iki isn't here. She knew she would know exactly what to do.
As it happens, Iki has developed a treatise on this, and yeah.
Yeah, far in the future, there was a book written that translates all of this, and it's in her museum, of course.
Emerging from the storm is
It's priceless.
very haggard, very decrepit-looking group of individuals, soldiers by their wear, armor, blades, mounted on horseback, very good riders, they know what they're doing, and each of them adorned with an orange sash with a number on it. Most of these numbers are in the triple digits.
Your invisibility is not going to help you here.
They're not looking for visitors.
It's true.
As they dismount, they kind of begin to search the area, but you can tell they are exhausted. Massive bags under their eyes, dark circles. They're stumbling around a little bit, moving very sluggishly slow. They don't appear to be, while they are trained soldiers and they are pushing through that as soldiers do, they are not comfortable.
Not great, because, it could mean that they're just going to get possessed, and then we're dealing with... Yeah.
But for right now, I'm
For right now,
lying
it's a good
down and
point.
not moving.
Ooh, you're lying
Yeah,
down. That's
it.
good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I like that.
I'm staying still, but just watching the situation. I'm keeping an eye to the best that I can to her, because,
I am trying to stay awake while hiding behind the broken glass pyramid that the people can see through.
I mean, I'm basically was sort of trying to stay about 15 feet away from you and be staying relatively close, not breathing down your neck.
Well, here's the benefit. They are also exhausted, and they have disadvantage on their perception.
Oh, good.
So passive perception minus 15. She got a 19. I'd have to actively seek to find her.
Yes.
Can I do that?
Yes.
Okay, natural 16. So yeah, I got it. So I do spot her then laying down in the grass behind the stone, but I do not see them because they're invisible.
And the exhaustion is saving you.
Oh, good.
As they take a look around. Ooh. Remind me of your stealth check.
It was a 19.
It was a 19. Very good. They look around, hands on their blades. You can kind of tell, and you can see them fairly well from your position. You can tell that, one, they are exhausted. Two, they've just finished a mad chase. Three, they just went through a storm and probably saw things they didn't want to see, witnessed things they never wanted to witness. And four, yeah, they're not happy. They don't want to be here. They want to go back. You can kind of tell they're wavering on deciding whether or not they should just file a report that you're missing and that they weren't able to get you. You went through the storm. They look around a little bit, and one of them, who appears to be in charge, he looks over at the others and he shouts an order that they will settle for a rest before heading back.
Our resting spot.
Okay. How many are there?
There are 4 of them.
Okay. But they're going to sleep.
They are exhausted. They are barely setting up a camp. There's no storm here. You can tell that they're all very happy there's no storm. So they are kind of setting themselves up and getting what meager shelter they believe they needed to keep the dew from dripping off the flowers onto them. And they do settle down, although one of them is sitting and standing guard. And by that I mean leaning on his sword, trying not to fall asleep.
Just for like...
It's still broad daylight, by the way. It's like high noon.
An ELISA history check on this. These are Iltherian knights that are completely anti-magic.
They are wearing
these
sashes,
are
which depicts them as Imperials. They are a little more relaxed about magic.
They're still wearing their proud
They
sashes.
are, yes.
Okay.
They would be of the mind that magic should serve them.
Green. Do you want us to drop an explosion or something on these guys? They're all together. It's a camp.
If they're asleep, they won't be able to know that you're about to do it. But if they know that you're about to do it, they will stop it from happening.
Yeah, but asleep.
But not all of them.
Yeah, all right. I'm just saying, single people, not necessarily my specialty. Making things explode, I can do that. Just let me know.
I just see her mouth moving, right?
I mean, they haven't tried to...
Baby, you're pretty high
I'm
up.
speaking quietly.
They haven't tried to detect you.
All right.
Because they're looking for me, so they haven't even thought about detecting magic or anything like that.
It would
So
appear to be the case.
You probably could do that as like a surprise to them, and they wouldn't be able to stop you, counterspell anything.
Well, that's my thought. Should I do it?
I mean, I say yes. I hate these guys.
Okay. I'm trusting the local here.
I mean, I try to do good, but
Sure.
hello.
So yeah, I would like to get a little distance. There's no need to be up close doing this, but once they settle down, sure, I'll drop a fireball on them.
Okay, jeez. That's got a good distance on it. What, 120 feet, right?
Yeah. So as I said, I'm getting some good.
So I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to see a fireball come out of nowhere.
You just see a little
Pretty
bead of
much.
fire just come out of something. And then
You don't really know, but like, I don't want magic to be used for this.
And also, I'm moving away from you. Like, I'm not standing, because I don't want to be near anyone else. when
I
I'm
also,
doing this.
I do
Yeah.
not really approve of magic being used
Right.
for this, but I am also not anti-magic at all. But these people would kill you if they could, or suppress your powers or
You would be
use
interesting to them.
you in
You
ways
would be
you
an
probably
experiment
would
to them.
not be wanted to be used.
It seems,
Ooh.
I gather all that, but that is
Hot
exciting,
take.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
So
But
you're
first,
just laying
boom,
there, and then all of a sudden-
here's some fire damage. Courtesy. You want me to roll that?
I mean, they're not the strongest. Their hit points are halved because of exhaustion. They're not in great shape. You probably
Here he goes.
you might as well go ahead because there's a chance you'll roll a bunch of ones and
All
they'll
right,
live
fair
through it.
enough.
But
Oh,
that's
no,
a-
I did
that's-
not.
Oh,
I'm just
oh,
saying,
oh,
that's a bunch of
oh.
sixes. That would be
That's a lot of sixes.
24, 30, 41 on 8d6.
All right. Well,
It's really good.
so two
Higher
things are
than
happening
5
here.
average.
I'm not even going to bother with a deck save because they're exhausted and this comes out of literally nowhere for them. And two, while they would normally survive that, because they are so tired and they're so low on their hit points, you roast them all alive.
Oh, well, I feel bad about that, but also I understand that's why I was checking with you, so you weren't like, no, they're all orphans and have good homes. So
Roasted
All
frog,
right.
free meal.
There is, there's
little
also,
more fragile.
We got frog legs.
you also, yeah, a couple frogs, some flowers go up. There is,
Yeah, that is-
Herbs for the frogs.
that
you
is
can
a
see-
risk.
You can
That
see
is
the
a risk.
one that is on guard does sort of like jolt slightly as he feels an intense heat. Reaches for his sword, gets it maybe halfway out, and then just falls to the ground as this little glowing green is emanating off of the blade.
Don't touch that.
All right. Shadowdale, just saying, fireworks here. Just as we're learning.
So
words.
I'm floating about.
Fire still works. And needless to say, I appear, because when I do that, casting a spell breaks
Yeah, yeah,
invisibility.
yeah.
So you see,
Boom.
like, a boom. And I'm going to be looking at that being like, I'm not like exactly proud of, what I mean?
Preserving my
But-
mount, I will fly down quickly and land, and then break it apart. Well then, you're a welcome guest here.
I guess. I hope those guys weren't friends of yours. I mean, that was a little more intense than I was expecting.
I don't believe so. Were these the ones following you?
Crackling.
I mean, they're all like burning skeletons, but I mean, is there like a sash number I recognize or something?
Yes, 826. That was
yeah.
the one chasing after you.
Yes, they are. What are their weapons?
Long swords and short swords mostly.
All made of the rennet.
They are all Reddick.
I will pick those all up because they can't touch them, right?
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. And you too, right?
No, I will be poisoned as well.
Don't touch these.
I'm definitely gonna get into a whole like, oh, don't. So is this alloy? Is it inherently and you
Grab
you
the
can
blade.
just tell me to shut. No, you,
Try it.
If you want to be able to do what you've just done, don't touch this.
I've been doing the detect magic. I understand the premise of the thing, so I'm fascinated. But I'm gonna take her.
I mean, you can keep calling me Void because that is,
Oh,
What should I call you?
And-
that's
Void?
fine.
All right. So yeah, I'm taking her word on it, but I am very interested in. I want to talk about this later, but maybe when
I
we're
can see
settled.
him lusting, eh?
Yeah, oh, it's
Mr.
interesting.
Entrepreneur, I highly recommend you do not take any of this back with you to your home. Regardless of whether business may be good, it is a blight.
Blight, you say?
I can see it in your eyes.
I'm just interested in opportunities. One man's blight is, blight can be useful if you have a plague of assassin vines or shambling mounds. I'm just saying if it's put to the proper use, but you don't like it.
This sentence is punctuated by the sound of metal screaming as heat and fire rents it asunder from the corpses.
But well done.
No, well, fair enough.
And this is why I'm retired.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, this is normally my day job. I mean, I don't do it personally.
We have people
kill
for that.
people.
I'm just saying. I'm sort of good to see it works in practice. Normally, I'm just
Humble
We should-
artificer.
Yeah.
We should go from here. A what?
Yeah.
Artificer.
Yeah.
It's
He's got it.
We'll look at each other in confusion.
in Eberron, it basically means a smart person
Genius?
who does things. Yes.
Oh, I'm a smart person who
Entrepreneur,
does
yeah.
things. I'm an artificer.
Oh,
Could be.
pleased to meet you.
Yes.
Do you know the principles of the third circle of prestidigitation?
I do not.
Okay. Well, but still, sure, artificer. We'll go with
Apparently
it.
you're not that
Artificer.
smart.
You an artificer, kid?
I am not an artificer.
Okay.
I'm a
All right.
paladin.
Ooh.
Oh,
we have
interesting.
those.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
okay, fair enough.
We have those. Holy men.
They also call me a bard.
A bard.
Yes.
Paladin and a bard.
bard?
Is that a?
No,
Okay.
That's.
Do you think he's got a different word
I think it's.
for things here?
I think it's paradise.
Do you play the lute?
I do, actually.
Okay,
my
bard.
goodness.
Yeah, apparently that's what he
Oh
means.
my goodness! So you could have a bard that sings good songs.
Ah.
Wow!
All right.
Paradise.
Okay, but serious talk here over the burning corpses. So we came from a place that was being plagued by nightmares, world-threatening stuff. You have everybody clearly having their brains sucked out by things that make you want to go to sleep and die. So probably a similar problem here.
We need to get out of here.
These guys, I understand it was okay that I burned them, so bad coming after you. What's the next step here? I mean, Shadowdale needs a nap, and frankly, I could use one too, so we can get Boyd cleaned up, because you're still
Yes, please.
cursed. Is there a safe place?
Well,
When I
So-
was over by the pyramids,
Yes.
like hiding for this short while before the explosion,
Yes.
did I sense anything or notice anything about? I mean, obviously there are like runes on them.
Yes. You can't read them.
I can't read them, and they've been here a long time. Do I know about them in the history?
You've probably heard of them. You would maybe know that there was an Iltharian research team at one point for the Empire that was attempting to see if they could utilize the stone of the Hollows as a biological weapon, because it is said that anyone who removes the stone quickly goes completely nuts.
Oh, so let's not remove the stones then.
henceforth become
and,
rightful king of all.
So I
They
want to
have
double
been
check.
trying. They were trying to find a way to take the stone and use it as a way to fight warfare. The problem is that no samples ever made it back to their workshops because everybody carrying them lost their memory, forgot who they were, and then slowly started to believe they were other things, such as ducks and squirrels.
Don't
so it's
touch
best
the
to
stones.
leave
Got
them
it.
alone. Now, the fact that they are in ruin now and are crumbling, are they known to be like that, or is this a recent
That is known.
thing?
That is a known thing. The other thing that would be interesting, based on both your aerial perception and also just from the happenstance, is that the storm is not passing through here. Like, this appears to be some kind of safe space. And I will say, for Loholt specifically, you haven't tried anything like this yet, but your connection to the Veil feels thin here.
thin.
Thin.
Is that good or bad?
Bad.
In the bad way. It's because you haven't tried any chronomancy, but you feel like you could, but you'd be draining you'd have to put some of your own life force into it to power it, because there's not enough energy of the Veil permeating this place. This is a weird kind of area where
Inside this eye of the storm we're in.
you're not in the eye.
Well, inside this whatever we think.
This
this
protected
pocket.
Are the pyramids like surrounding this pocket? Like maybe they are creating the pocket?
There is sort of a formation. It's not. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a circle, but there is like a formation. They appear to have been placed intentionally here.
So I believe I could offer some assistance here in describing a few of this. You seem to like to recap things
Yeah.
for your notes.
Sure, absolutely. Exposition.
I believe we are in this place called the Hollows. It is an ancient ground in our world that predates this veil that protects our planet. My abilities will be diminished here. How we got here, I do not know. Clearly you came from your world, and I thought I was on the continent of Thalagrant. But things have changed.
The Hollows is on Telegram.
I am still on Thalagrant. I believe we are on Thalagrant.
The smell of burning Eltharian tells me that my abilities seem to be working fine.
Yes.
Sorry, not you.
But where to go, I do not know.
Questions.
Yes.
So we are standing in some ruins, correct?
You're surrounded by ruins.
Surrounded by
yes.
ruins. There are runes on the ruins.
There are.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we had runes and runes.
Yes.
Ruined,
The writing.
runic
There is writing
If
upon the ruins.
if these hollows are protecting us from this storm, should we be using them in some way, and this is probably where you're going to tell me about don't touch the stones or people will go
Correct.
crazy. So, okay.
But also,
okay,
I can't
don't
read
touch the
these runes.
stones.
Can you?
Can I?
Would you like to attempt an Arcana check?
Arcana check.
Here's
Can
a
we
roll.
work together?
Elements.
100% you can.
Yes.
So you may each. What we'll do is we'll let you each roll, and then whoever gets the highest roll, that's the check we'll use.
11.
Oh, and actually, let me go ahead
languages or
and you see, the thing is, I have a certain lens for your glasses that actually will give you an extra +3 to your check.
Okay.
It's interesting because it casts in a different light.
Okay.
My check myself was, in fact, only a 21.
Mine was a
pathetic.
14.
With your bonus? Yeah,
oh, no,
that's what I'm
with the
saying.
bonus, let's see, 14, 27.
Yeah, so, good, but I'm just saying I did
Lowly
contribute.
27.
I rolled a 1, 30.
So Elminster,
Mm.
you kind of hobble on. Are you still invisible? This is an important question.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking. So you just see the flowers kind of just part and move, and frogs leap out of the way.
Wizards.
And you see like a little burnt frog leg just come up, and then a part of it just gone.
Mm.
A wisp of smoke just kind of appear out of nowhere and settle up into the into
Need
the sky.
salt.
You don't have any of that on you? You don't carry salt?
Well, I do, but
I mean,
these are hardly the
prestidigitation.
circumstances.
Fair enough. You kind of you just kind of settle in, and you reach out and you go to feel for the weave as best you can, and you're almost taken aback by just how much energy you get back. It is as if this planet that you're on has a heart beating within its core, made of pure magic, and you can feel the beat, the pulse surge up through your feet and into your body like a conduit as magic itself sails through the air, arcing across the sky, running beneath the ground. You can feel every like veins on a body just pumping full of magical blood.
This
Just
place.
I'm going to adjust the codpiece and
everything just
loosen the belt. And
supercharged. And as you do so, and you stare at these writings, it's definitely not a language you've ever seen before, but you are so intrinsically tapped into this world and its source of magic. And the first thing you notice is that, what would you say Faerun and Toril's magic tastes like?
Ooh. It tastes like warm broth. Chicken broth.
Chicken
only.
broth. I was about to
No
ask.
Noodles.
Yeah,
No noodles.
Chicken broth.
It's an official thing
This
now.
is like a beef broth.
Ooh.
Succulent and different.
Ooh, we're not in
But
Kansas,
not bad.
Toto.
Yeah, it's got this different flavor to it. Still good, but very different and noticeably. And you have to kind of adjust the way that you think about magic and the way you manipulate it to, just kind of pivot slightly to wrap this around you. And the runes, the writing begins to somewhat make sense to you. It's as if this is like ancient writing, but you realize that not only is it's not a language, it's a cipher. The cipher kind of swirls in your vision. Things begin to arrange and form into sentences or words. It seems weird. You're not even sure it's 100% accurate, but you believe you can read an inscription. And we'll leave the session there for now.
I
that'll do
prepared explosive runes today.
Man, Shun was here.